Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to talk about the disgusting practice of favoring clicks over facts in journalism. My name is Justine Mays. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Matt Modica, Kathy Kuhl, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, I'm moved past the point to be mildly annoyed about this to really getting angry the way that the bourbon industry is being treated right now. Again, it's one of those things where there are things that are not perfect in bourbon right now, and it gives them enough fodder where people will be like, yeah, well, of course that's true. This is going on, right? So, but just this stuff, and we're going to get to this, and I've got a prime example we'll talk about in the second half. But for right now, before we get to all that stuff and get me going, hopefully I don't lose it on the show.
You're losing it.
Yeah, you know how I can get.
I can already feel it.
I'm just trying to be good, and I'm doing a bunch of videos. I did a video where I got so mad, I was kind of yelling. I thought, this is good because I'm showing how angry I am. And then I thought, I'm taking away from the topic. You're seeing me get angry. I got to just present the facts because the people that are doing the other thing, they're presenting facts. They're wrong. They're not right. They're incorrect, but they're presenting stuff as fact, and they're not yelling and screaming. And if here I am yelling and screaming, so I had to redo a whole video, and I thought, but that's the best thing to do because no one's doing this. I feel like the KDA should be posting social media stuff every day, and I feel like Beam really screwed up the way they, made their announcement, and everything is kind of tripping over themselves. When in reality, all this could be turned around and made a positive, and we're just not doing that. Things are bad, so I'm on the horse, talking about things aren't as bad as they are, and doing some research. I see that. Things are just compiled and just, hey, here's what's going on. Distilleries are going bankrupt. That's a problem. Tariffs have ruined the business. Canada, it literally killed it. It was it was bourbon's biggest customer, and they're gone. And so they just say this stuff. And if you do some research, none of this stuff is true. It falls apart, but no one's doing the research because it doesn't paint the narrative that gets the clicks. So we're going to talk about clickbait journalism after the break, and I don't want to just do the whole show about it, and I will, because you can get me going pretty easy on this topic, but I'll try to keep it cool. So hopefully it gets to about the facts, not about me getting angry. So we'll see how I do. All right, Matt, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that, sir?
Sure. So we, we're coming off of Christmas and going into New Year's, and a lot of people have people over to their house or get together and that kind of thing. And so I'm curious, we always end up with more dishes or utensils or things than we own after we host something. And so I'm kind of curious, what strange kitchen items have shown up in your kitchen or in your house after something you've hosted?
Oh yeah. Things do show up. Platters are often left. And then the one that gets you is just random silverware, and then the warden will just put it in the drawer, and it'll be like, this has nothing to do with ours. What is this? Is clearly someone else's. Do we want to try to track down whose it is, or if not, do we want to put it aside, almost like have a lost and found at the house, where people, if they call us, and then at some point throw it away? Why are we putting this in our drawer? It's not ours.
Are you afraid that you're going to grab some other random fork instead of your special fork, or what?
No, my special fork stands out. I mean, I could never. I mean, have I gone blind in this scenario, as well as lost my sense of touch? I mean, I could find that one blind. So it's it's not a matter of that. It's just a matter of why would we have. You don't just keep something. If someone leaves a jacket, the next day I'm not like wearing it to the shop or something. Something like a utensil. Yeah, it's just, it's ours now. It got left behind. It's ours.
But if you think about that, how do you say, hey, now I have to contact everyone and ask them if they lost.
You go to the MapTap group. I just would go to the MapTap group.
Go to the MapTap group and ask.
Yeah. Who left this? Yeah. That's what I would do. I
You've
just
done
blew
your
Kathy's
research.
mind. Kathy's mind just went.
The same look Jeff Andreezy had.
Well, the thing is we're
News
talking about
programs
leaving
repeat.
stuff at Steve's house. I wasn't invited to a map tap party at Steve's house.
Yeah, me either. Who are you having a party with without us?
No.
You wouldn't even have this group if it wasn't for me. No, I'm kidding.
I would just vote on them, and if it's not one of the group members, then I figure it's not important enough. That's the important people in my life, the MapTap group. Yeah. That's.
Matt, I'd actually twist this one and go the other way around. We've been hosting so many things. We're keeping an inventory on all of our nice stuff. So the general has a lot of serving utensils of various different precious metals right now, which can probably be a pretty good penny if they sold it to the right person. So we had to keep an inventory of all of our silver stuff that we have out there. Then I'm like, can you replace that with plastic? We're not going to put that stuff out because they're sticky fingers.
People do steal stuff. I had an old lady steal a
From your
glass from me, too.
family?
Yeah, of course.
The family, absolutely.
You don't have a wacky uncle? Kathy, I know enough about your family now. There'd be people.
I have so many wacky uncles.
Yeah, there'd be someone who'd steal something. Please.
Or you bring the tables for the large events, and next thing you know, they will rope it open, give you a shitty table back, and like, well, that's not mine. Mine's got my name written all over the damn thing underneath.
Right.
Oh, this is what we was yours. Bullshit. Watch me take my ball and go home. That's it. We're done.
This is a very heated topic. Right?
Oh yeah.
I have a table I just never got back. I just went and bought a new one. I was tired of asking.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it to Tim? Be honest.
Well, yes. I drove the table up to the Chicagoland area.
Right. I said, here, use this weekend. Enjoy. Hopefully you have a great.
Just make sure you get it back to me.
Right. Yeah, you never did.
Never saw
came
it
back
again.
out with us. No, I think she left it, so I figured it's ours now.
Yeah. It's true.
I am an attendee, so I don't have new things arrive at my house, but I do leave stuff.
So, and this can go back. It doesn't have to be just this holiday season. You never hosted anything, all your 10 marriages or whatever it is, or anything like that?
Yeah, I've hosted things.
Okay. Did anybody leave something at one of those events?
No, it's been a long time.
Somebody left at least 50%, so we know that.
I'm sure. Yeah, they left stuff. Yeah. Yeah, from that one, probably you go into the bedroom and into the nightstand. There's a Book of Mormon in there. She was a Mormon at one point.
Yep.
Yeah,
Gideon Bible
3
and the
whole
other
months.
the nightstand.
she joined.
I just got my my letter from the local Mormon church wishing
You're
me
still
a
on the
happy-
list, huh?
Oh yeah, cannot get off that list.
Can you buy some magic underwear with the contacts you have? Because I'd like to feature it on the show.
I'm confused by your
They're not
question.
underwear, they're called garments.
Yes.
It's called magic underwear. Google it.
Yes.
They're called temple garments.
Google magic underwear.
I wasn't in long enough to deserve
I don't want
them.
that shit showing up in my Facebook
Yeah,
feed or my
it's magic
Instagram.
underwear. It's magic. Justine, tomorrow when she wakes up on Instagram, it'll be magic underwear ads.
Yes.
We're like, congratulations! We didn't know you were part of the church. Here's some magic underwear for you. So,
For what it's worth, Steve, I did Google it, and yes, it was safe. Right up the that temple garment. It's all about control. I wore magic Mormon underwear.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what it's called. Ricky Schroeder. Remember Ricky Schroeder? You know, he was. He's a Mormon, and he talked about it. He wears his magic underwear. He talk about it. That's what he called it.
I watched The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu, and they talk about undergarments. None of them have ever said that they're magic.
Well, first of all, it's Hulu. It's dramatization. That's like saying the TV show Showtime is real, or all these things. You know, they take liberties. So in reality, you know, they don't want to get so far under the church's skin, because the church is a cult. So you don't want to be like, oh, we call it magic underwear. You're just throwing that out there where anybody can hear it. So you're like, oh, it's called whatever you said they call it.
Well, I watched Big Love back in the day, and they had no problem getting undressed in that show. So I never saw magic underwear on that show.
Didn't see any magic underwear.
Not on Big
I
Love.
don't think
Great
they
show.
were Mormon, though.
R.I.P. Oh, they were very well. Yeah, I don't know how much they practiced, but polygamy was definitely there in the Mormon.
Polygamy was part of it.
Yeah, they're like subsets.
Subsets, yeah.
R.I.P. Bill Paxton.
The Mormons will tell you they don't. That's a subset. You know, they don't really.
That is true.
I used to call on the Mormons for moving service. We were the mover, and they were very nice people. And anybody who would say anything about that, it was like, we're not. That's not us. Actually, that's a totally different thing. Who associates themselves with us, but that's not us. So I just want to throw that out there. And they don't call themselves Mormons anymore. Yeah.
Well done, Steve. Good call.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with those folks. They're good people. But yeah, Justine, has anything ever been left at your house? And again, it doesn't have to be this holiday season. It could be of holiday seasons past. Like Kathy, we had to go back several marriages, but we found something there. So
first, I'd like to thank you for reminding me what the question was in the first place.
We got a little sidetracked there.
What hoodies have you have? Because people left their hoodies at Chateau Maze.
You don't want to leave a hoodie at Maze's house because she'll keep it.
Yeah,
She'll add it to the collection.
Making it back to you ever.
Right.
That's possession is 9/10 of the law.
Exactly.
I don't really have people over to my house, so nothing's ever been left. But I can tell you that
even back in the day, like.
I have a whole drawer of Tupperware that's not mine from bringing home leftovers and forgetting to take it back to the people.
She conveniently forgot, but she remembers to wash it and put it into her inventory.
Well,
yeah, that's not forgotten.
I set it on like the back counter in the pantry for a while, and then it just gets in my way. So then I just migrate.
That's the process. Once it's sat there for 45 days, then it goes into her inventory. It's now owned by Justine. So she's developed that, and if the person wants to come walking for it or come get it to her house, she'll turn it over within the 45 days. After that, don't ask.
I don't have Tupperware from Steve's house, but I do have a styrofoam cooler and a freezer pack that I forgot to take back 3 times.
You can keep it. You can keep it.
Yeah.
It's been more than 45 days.
We try to get rid of those things. You know, that's one of the, if you order something frozen, like I order frozen berries and stuff like that, and it has it has a styrofoam cooler and a cold packet. It's like you don't feel good just throwing that in the trash. So then you accumulate them, and what do you do with them? You're hoping someone asks for something cold, and then you put it in cold. You're like, here you go, take this, and then you never want to see it again. I mean, yeah, it's not like we need those things.
Man of the people.
Yeah.
You're a man of the people. Give it up.
I'm a caring person, I'll tell you.
Yes, you are.
It made me get Demetrius's what was he selling at the
Bacon?
Brats, bacon, and something else. I don't know.
Breakfast sausage? He sells breakfast sausage.
Yeah, I had a whole cooler full of meat.
Of meat from Demetrius. It's good stuff too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not a bad decision.
No, it's not a bad decision. Matt, how about you, man? You asked the question. What sort of stuff have you been acquiring?
Well, so we were taking inventory after, to Tim's point. Now, so we've had this spoon in our tray for the last 10 years that doesn't match our and we just keep using it, right? But
sure.
But so that was one. Another one was we have a pot holder that says "I love you, Mom" on it, but it's not from our kids.
That's something very personal for someone.
Yeah. We don't know whose it was. And then the only other thing that I could think of was there was when the kids were younger. Remember when Guitar Hero came out?
Yeah.
And like everybody was playing Guitar Hero. Well,
Yeah.
my son's friends brought over like 2 or 3 of those guitars, and when everybody left from the party, we had 2 or 3 more guitars than when we started.
Really?
Like, that were not ours.
It seems like they'd have been looking for those. Yeah.
Yeah, I kept telling Anthony, I was like, surely their parents are asking them about these guitars.
Right, yeah.
Like, someone needs to come pick them up, and they never did. We still have, I think, 2 somewhere in the closet. So
They probably just asked their parents for new ones and they went and bought them.
That's
probably,
right.
I don't know.
Probably said your kid broke it.
Yeah.
Correct.
That Monica kid, he broke it.
Yeah.
I need a
Monica
new
kid
one.
broke it. Yeah.
Well, to the person out there who's always been going over to Monica's house saying, you know what, that looks like our spoon? Yes, it
is.
definitely
It is your spoon.
It is your spoon, and you have every right to go take it back.
I'm hoping the person who says, Mom, I love you, or whatever that potholder says, hopefully they heard that and they'll get it, because they were probably pretty upset. It was like, where's the potholder?
That's why
You know,
we
I've been
keep
probably
it.
looking for that.
Yeah.
We keep it. I think Linda's asked her family and everything, and nobody's owned up to it. So
That would be one. Like, I don't have any problem throwing stuff away if somebody left and doesn't seem to have any interest in it. Like, they leave cups at all the time at the work. I would. The mom one, I would be like, then someone's gonna come crying, and that was like meant a whole lot. There was some big, so I would hold on to that one. I'd be afraid to throw that one away. Yeah, yeah. So there could be a
Either
story.
that or it's your mom's a potholder while you still can, guys.
Well, it's the mom that left it there. She must have been angry at the kid.
Maybe. So, on that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start this time with Justine, our sitting champion.
I have Stolen Wolf rye whiskey.
Okay, solid. Not her best effort. The door's open, it feels like, if someone can get a real banger here. But Justine currently has the lead. Matt looks ready to go, so we'll have him go next.
yeah, we've got a double oak peerless.
Okay.
Very nice.
Wow, that was explosive. That was explosive. He's got the lead. I'm going to come right back after him with some Peerless. I've got some Peerless rye whiskey. This is that strawberry shortcake one I just got on the Millionaires weekend. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to try like Kitty says to hold it low. I'm going to hold it low. I'm going for form here. Here we go.
Oh,
Ooh,
That was really good. But
that was good.
Did you guys hear that at all? I can't tell.
I'm going to let Kathy be the judge here. Kathy, who has the lead, Matt or myself?
Well, I'm going to be truthful and say you, Steve.
Okay, as long as you're truthful. Yeah,
I'm
you
being
should be.
truthful.
Even Matt would want you to be truthful. So yeah, I've got the lead.
actually, I agreed.
Okay.
It was yours was stronger.
It was just very clean.
Yeah, Justine, what were you going to say?
Does it really taste like strawberry shortcake?
Oh, it does. Yeah, that's the cool thing. They do a great job of identifying tasting notes, and you can actually find them yourself. Now, I've had some other ones, and sometimes I'll read the press releases, and they'll come up with these crazy tasting notes. I'm like, that tastes like none of that. That's just someone, filling in things so it sounds, really robust. This one, it's like, that tastes like I'm getting a strawberry note, which I don't get very often. That's a pretty rare note to get on whiskey, but sometimes it happens. So kind of baked goods and strawberry, hence strawberry shortcake.
Shout out to our buddy John for that one, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Doing a great job over there.
They do a great job. All right, KK, you're next.
I am going to open up my Old Monroe single barrel with the maple cask finish.
Okay, Basie, but not going to be enough to take the lead. Tim, you're last but not least. What
I'm
is
going
that?
to throw this. Basically, I've got my 10th Mountain shot.
Pistol pour.
topper.
Yeah.
Yes, that's pour. It's a 10th Mountain single malt. Let's see if I get anything on this.
Nothing. Well, as good as you normally do. So, yeah, there
Exactly.
you go.
That's why I figured might as well
Yeah.
push shout outs.
Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about clickbait journalism and how it fits today in the bourbon world. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Kyle Neely. I need to go home and wiggle my mouse. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back. Today on the show, we're talking about the most awful thing on the planet, clickbait journalism.
Yes, we are. So clickbait journalism it's annoying. And I've got one, and again, there's a lot. I mean, I could have done 20 of these, 25 of these, you name it. This one is from USA Today. I wanted to do one with a very reliable source. USA Today is a respected media outlet. They have journalists. They have people who write their own stories. So they're not just an aggregator. They're just pulling from AP and printing things. So they have an actual person who's in charge of writing this. A guy in this case, I think his name was Kevin Snyder. And it says, and it shows a picture. And again, initially I thought this is just a fake photo meant to incite people and make them angry and clickbait because. But then you look at the tag, it looks like it's from Japan. So maybe you might find a set like this over there. In the U.S., you would never see this. It's all Scotch, and then Jim Beam white label. Just only that, not like other Jim Beam products. Only Jim Beam white label, and then on to more Scotch. That you would never see that in the U.S. But again, you might find that in a different country, but certainly not in the U.S. You'd never see that. So I thought, man, they're just creating even the photo to make this up. But maybe they didn't. Maybe they got it from a source. But the headline is American distilleries are going bankrupt. The reasons go beyond reduced drinking. And the only brand, again, that's on there that is an American bourbon is Jim Beam. That's it. So it's just that Jim Beam white label. So what's implied, not what's stated, but what's implied is Jim Beam has gone bankrupt, and who else is going bankrupt? Because it sounds like a lot. And if you click on the story, that's not true, obviously. The people, our audience who's listening to this knows that. But yeah, so what do you guys think of this? What do you think about something like that when you see it?
Well, that picture, I just enlarged that picture, and it looks like it's from, I don't know, China or Japan. I don't like if you enlarge it and look at the little price tag,
the writing, yeah,
in front of it. That's not a U.S.
correct
display.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on you, USA Today.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Steve. I hate the clickbait thing, and so I went and searched for that article and brought it up on USA Today's website, and I met with probably no less than 20 ads on their page, right? And
Hmm.
they continuously are popping up and doing different things. And so obviously it's for the money,
Right.
or they're doing it for the income stream. But as I read about it, it's all these smaller distillers and other distillers that have just made bad decisions over time. And so it's not big companies. It's not, thousands or hundreds of distillers that are going bankrupt.
Yeah.
And then they mix in a whole bunch of other stuff. They go into politics. They go into, the whole tariff thing. They go into, and then they start pointing the finger at brewers too. Oh, it's not just
Right.
it's not just the whiskey drinkers. It's the beer too. And I don't know. It makes me think all of it is for a reason, and it's only
Right.
to get them more money.
I want to, and I'd like the rest of you to weigh in on this too, but I'd like to just share another story about this because I did a video on this today. I thought I don't have time to research this whole thing, but I picked out two off their list of distilleries that have gone bankrupt. And I thought, because the one is flagged out as like the newest one. It was called A.M. Scott Distillery. It was in Ohio. And so I did a quick Google search of that. The owner of the company is facing 2 felony charges of fraud. And, so is he gone bankrupt because of things like tariffs and Generation Z isn't drinking as much as they used to, and Canada is boycotting us? I think we might be able to figure that really has nothing to do with, what they're trying to lump it in with. Just a terrible example to put that in there. But again, a quick Google search, you'd have been like, whoop, I'm not putting that one in there because it doesn't apply. One they had in there is the parent company of Westward Whiskey. That's really the only one that has any national recognition on that whole group, Westward Whiskey. And so I thought, what's going on with them? So I do a quick Google search. They did declare bankruptcy back in, I don't know, August, I think maybe. You'd have
It was
to
over the summer, to the end of the summer, beginning of the fall.
Yeah, so that legitimately happened. But if you dig into it, just again a quick Google search, they have been bought out of bankruptcy. Investors came in. Where they got into trouble, they've been growing. Their whiskey has exploded. They were up 53% when they declared bankruptcy. You're like, well, how can that happen? Well, cash flow. Cash flow becomes an odd problem when all of a sudden you start selling a lot of stuff and start to go growing because you're always waiting to get your cash back from liquor stores that have to pay distributors that have to then pay you, and it can be 60 days, 90 days. Well, that's fine if it's, a couple invoices, but when you're talking about large scale growth, like growing 53% in a year, you get into some problems. So they end up having to file for bankruptcy protection. Investors come in, buy them out. They've already sold more in 2025 than they sold the entire year of 2024 as of November 4th when the new investors came in, and they're out of bankruptcy. They're on this list of bankrupt, and boy, that paints a picture. Man, Western Whiskey, they're bankrupt. Man, they can't make it. They're in almost every state. Nobody can make it. No, that's not the case at all. Their business is up 53%.
Steve, it goes down to the understanding of what's the definition of inflation and what's the definition of bankruptcy. Bankruptcy doesn't mean out of business.
Right.
It means reorganization, depending on what it is, versus a liquidation.
Mm-hmm.
So people understand bankruptcy versus liquidation. They don't even understand the word inflation versus what really that's about. When I go back to it again, when the market is correcting itself.
Yep.
The market's correcting itself because interest rates and net present value for future investment was a hell of a lot lower in 2020, 2021, 2022. Now those business plans are blown up because they can't find short-term financing anymore for rates that makes them capitally eligible to do so or find investors. But then you have one of the biggest people in bourbon throwing this press release out there about Brown-Forman. And in the line it says, second quarter net sales decreased 5% to $1 billion, Brown-Forman. Now you go to Brown-Forman's their results that they reported on December 4th. Mind you, this was posted on December 23rd. And it says net sales declined largely driven by the end of the Corbel Champagne Cellars relationship and the absence of Sonoma Couture prior year transaction services agreement. So their decline in sales was largely driven by not whiskey.
Right.
From a geographic perspective, emerging growth, net sales growth in emerging markets and travel retail channel was more than offset by the decline of the United States and developed international markets.
Well, it sounds like they also took a hit because of a transition as well. So they
correct. Well, it gets even better.
That company,
Gross margins expanded 30 basis points. Brown-Forman. The board of directors authorized a share repurchase and increased the dividend. But what I found funny, now we get into the whiskey. It says net whiskey sales products were flat. The launch of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Blackberry and higher net sales of Woodford Reserve, driven by distributor inventories and transitions in the United States, were offset by lower volumes of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey and Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. So thank you, Blackberry, Jack Daniel's, and Woodford Reserve. You saved Brown-Forman's to make it flat.
Yeah.
So whiskey sales are flat. Market is correcting itself. But that press release out there, to all these followers, sales down 5%.
Yeah.
But what sales? People aren't reading it. It's clickbait. And that stuff is, I think Becca said it's rage bait. Rage bait clicks. People get pissed off like we do. You got to do some education, folks. You got to read behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's so misleading. That
American distilleries going bankrupt.
Very misleading. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, American distilleries are going bankrupt, and then they put Beam on there, which Beam's not going bankrupt. It has nothing to do with the photo and the picture don't go together, or the story and the picture don't go together, and then they throw out like 5 or 6 distilleries, and again, there's over 2,000 distilleries across the U.S. that make whiskey, and every given year, just by the normal numbers, isn't there some attrition of every industry, every because these are small businesses? 5 or 6 in a year doesn't actually sound bad to me, believe it or not. That sounds like a pretty healthy industry to me. Yeah. I mean, we
can talk about how Beam did the press release, how they may not have been as clear as it could be, as they could have been in there, because not one employee is being laid off. We'll see. They're being redistributed and redeployed across the other plants because there's more than one plant outside of Claremont. And see where they're at. They're being distributed around Kentucky. So hopefully those employees will still be there and everything like that. And they're supposed to be retooling the distillery, which hasn't been upgraded in about 15 years, I believe.
Right.
Was the last upgrade, I think, of what they say. But they're still producing. Freddie No is still producing. Yeah. They produce, what do they say, about 65, 75 barrels a day off the smaller, the experimental distill.
No, the experimental, yeah. I thought you meant the regular Beam.
That's Claremont, right?
For 600, yeah.
Yeah, the other facilities they have, just doing the white label, right? It's thousands of barrels per day.
Yeah,
that are still being laid down,
being made. Yeah.
So there's no shortage of their juice.
Right? And this Canada thing, and again, I love Canada. I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing Canada, but this Canada thing has been all a huge PR thing, and it plays well. And if you're Canadian proud, and you're happy. Like, look at that, we're standing up to the United States, and we're and then they point to all the stuff where we've really hurt them. And in reality, so I looked at the numbers. How much? And they want to tout that the LCBO, and they just say Canada. That gets lost in this. Canada is the biggest buyer of American bourbon. Not true. They actually rank number 5 overall. But what is the biggest individual buyer is the LCBO. So that's Ontario's Liquor Control Board. And because they control everything, they buy the whiskey, they distribute the whiskey, they sell the whiskey. They have all company stores, and that's their largest province. That's where the bulk of their population is. They're kind of centered around that. That's where Toronto is, and all their other big cities. So of course, if you're buying for that province, you're going to be the biggest individual buyer. Because again, if we sell to Japan, which sells way more, like 3 times as much as what Canada does, you got to sell to 1,000 different stores. With the LCBO, you're selling to one, so they are the biggest customer. But that doesn't mean they're the biggest country. It doesn't mean they're the biggest buyer overall. So I want to dispel that rumor. And then the other thing, let's look at the numbers. What does Canada buy in bourbon a year? The answer is $40 million, 40 million with an M. And that's certainly a big amount, but it's not going to cripple a $9.4 billion bourbon industry, $8.6 billion of which is of Kentucky. It's not going to cripple an industry, $40 million. That's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, Canada. That's not true. And then the other thing, keep poking the bear, because you know how much Canadian whiskey America buys? $2.1 billion with a B. With a B. Yeah. You buy $40 million with an M. We buy $2.1 billion of yours.
Well, the Canadian thing came up again recently in early December because Halifax, it's the Nova Scotia Liquor Commission. They decided that they are liquidating all of American whiskey.
Yes, donating to food banks. Yeah, the revenue from it. The revenue from it.
Mm-hmm. Correct, all the revenue. There were 600,000 units of various products pulled from the shelves earlier in the year, and then the sell-off was done on December 1st or something like that. What I found interesting in this article I was reading, is that the top seller of American brands in Nova Scotia was Maker's Mark. Second of brands was Bullet Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So again, but then you look at the cannabis sales were up 10.4% to 36 million in Halifax and Nova Scotia as a whole. But yes, this is all a situation of stuff being sold and people, whatever you want to call it. But when it really comes down to, Steve, you're right. The numbers, the export numbers really show what's going on. What this really still impacts, though, are the small brands who have interest. But these big conglomerates, for the sales and the volume that they have, it's a blip on the radar at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you
Could
go.
be something down the road. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not trying to say that facts don't change. My opinion's the same until the facts change. But until that happens,
this brings into my. So I don't normally talk about my day job, but my day job is in information security, right? And it's all about, what we have seen and observed in the last, I would say, 2 years, 3 years, is the prevalence of social media and advertisements, and then all of the clickbait kind of approach, right? And you combine that with the fact that nobody is really providing real facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just doing it to cause a reaction in some way, shape, or form, or to get you to click on something and that kind of thing. And so I guess the thing that I would just encourage everyone to do is do what Steve did, do what Tim did, do what I'm sure Kathy and Justine have done, is look it up yourself, right? Like if you believe it, great. If you don't believe it, great. But validate it and say okay, yeah, it probably took you 5 minutes, Steve, to do those searches.
Right.
So
Yeah.
What about this? Is it really true? Or let me get a different perspective from a different source, right, to see what it says. And I wish more people would actually do that, but unfortunately, I think most of the United States, I'll just say, is just taking
They
things
see
at
it
face value.
from legitimate news sources like a USA Today or Newsweek or New York Times have been some that I've seen this same type of reporting done, and at that point it becomes fact. And I think it does hurt the bourbon industry long term. I think when people are like, oh, that's nothing anymore, and they kind of turn their back on it, and it shouldn't be. If bourbon deserves to have its back turned on, fine. But when it's false reporting and people trying to get clicks to make money off of that bothers me. That gets me going for sure. I don't like that. It's so I'm going to be the one that's going to continue to pound the drum. And some people attack me and they just provide the list of everything we just talked about. They're not providing any sort of facts. They're not fact checking anything. They're just providing that list and saying, look at this. It's a political thing. It's we've got tariffs. We've got Gen Z doesn't drink anymore. They just have the exact same list of like 5 things. Distilleries are going bankrupt like crazy. Are they? I haven't had anybody come after me that had some solid facts that I thought, well, man, they might be right. We might be going down a bad path here. It's just been people just regurgitating what they see because that's what the news things are doing. They're just compiling lists and presenting them and like, here you go. This is what it's bad. So yeah. So there you go. Bad news sells. So just remember that, folks, as you're reading these articles. And, and this has probably happened in our everyday lives and a lot of stuff we don't know as much about. So they can't pull the wool over our eyes when it comes to bourbon because this is something that we pay attention to, we read about, and we haven't just started because of what's going on in the industry right now. It's something that we always do. So it's a little bit different.
That's why I said it might, again, in the information security field, it's all about deception and trying to do something different or trying to get your message across. And regardless of your personal values or your political alignment or whatever, it doesn't matter. Read the other side's story, right?
Yeah.
Or get some information that you don't necessarily agree with and look it up and learn.
Even maybe go one step further. If you still love the whiskey industry, go to a distillery and talk to the people. Ask them how things are going. Find out what's happening. Go visit these people. Enjoy a cocktail. Have a conversation. Be surprised what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Folks they're not stopping.
No.
So, the ability for us, the hoarding that's been going on for the pandemic years, that stuff is over. A lot of these companies, especially the big ones, doubled production that's now coming online into the market because it's aged that long now.
Right.
And I just love how stuff is finally showing up and people are going nuts about it. Hey, I found this big drop here again. I'm seeing it again. I'm just going crazy. And they're like, oh, the sky's falling. No. That company doubled production, and those products are now aged enough to come onto the market.
The plan has been initiated. I mean, it's
Exactly.
it's being executed now. So yeah.
Yes,
So,
everything is not all right. There are a lot of challenges, and it's all out in the
yep.
open because we all are hurting in one way, shape, or form. And this is just one way to point fingers and to have some fun with the market with a lot of different economic factors and points that can be debated.
Yep. So there you go. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. So we'll start with you, Matt.
You can find me on LinkedIn, Matthew Modica.
All right. Tim.
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on YouTube at Our Flagship Whiskey.
All right. KK.
You can find me on Instagram at KKCaststrength.
Justine.
You can find me sitting here trying to get this zip tie off my pistol pour from 10th Mountain. And on Instagram at JA_Maze.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's going to be abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Bourbon Sasquatch. New videos coming out literally every day. And we also get further into some of these topics we talked about. I've been dropping some good videos here recently, kind of discussing what's going on. I encourage you to watch those. Justine, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. That helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. Also, if you like what we're doing, please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
Great job today, gang. Fartins. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
See you, everyone.
Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.